It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D!
Yeah, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule, that guy, Darren McCarty. He won Stanley Cups and stuff. We got Silent Mike in the building. Silent Mike, you're hyped today.
Yes.
I can tell.
Yes.
You see, that was two words. He's electric on a Tuesday. Silent Mike you're my guy, man. I mess with Silent Mike heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Dumb heavy.
Silent Mike's the man.
Spencer Raxter in the building.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
D-Mac, what's popping, man?
I was just inquiring. I mean, you know, we are blessed by Silent Mike and stuff, but this isn't I didn't miss something. This isn't a KGU issue. You guys are still good, right? Because of, I didn't know. This ain't anything to do with the
no.
game
KG, Spenny, what, KG, it was sent to lobby for my black card, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's on the O block right now.
So
yeah.
things are on brand.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Everything's cool, man.
You know, it's busy time of year, obviously, for everybody around here, including me. So it's good to be back in. I'm just trying to get it straight. But Silent Mike, good to see you, bud.
No, yeah, KG's in Chicago. I told him he's got to go to the Empire Strips back. That's got to be his first stop.
First stop.
Absolutely.
That's on brand. So
That was awesome.
that's
All right,
good.
D-Mac, there's a couple things I have to get to. I haven't done this in a minute. Oh, Spenny.
Yes.
Men's soccer, Oakland University 3, Michigan State 0.
Man.
3-0 at halftime. Domination, Spenny.
You know, you just hate to see it. The boys they were asleep off the bus.
Take you
know?
and your big budget and your stadiums and all that stuff and just piss off.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, the boys didn't have their A game.
No, they did not.
Nah, you got to wake up before you get off the bus, and those boosters.
You don't just come to the lower fields at Oakland University and push the Golden Grizzlies around, especially when I'm on the call on ESPN Plus. The boys showed out last night. So props to Oakland men's soccer.
Shout out to them.
There you go. All right. See, what's hard about that?
Nothing. I'll tell you what. I said this yesterday. I didn't go to any soccer games. I will wholly admit that. I didn't go to any soccer game.
Except when
obviously
Oakland was
football and basketball. Went to a lot of those. Went to a couple baseball games. Shooters in the socks.
See, you can do that anywhere.
Yeah, went to a couple swim meets. That was really cool.
Shooters in the socks?
Shooters in the socks. And then, of course, hockey. That was, oh, man.
No,
Munn is the place. Munn shits on Yost. I'm sorry. Munn is way better than Yost.
You know what? It's true.
Yeah.
D-Mac,
Yost is a hole, dude. It's so old.
It is.
Munn is nice.
No, it is. Freddie Felt 313. Go Grizz. That's right. Go Grizz. I haven't done this in a minute, D-Mac. And before we get into the football, it is a Rest in Peace Tuesday. I think you all know the betting favorite for me.
Yeah.
If you were going to bet it, it'd be minus 20,000.
Yeah, that's
You'd be
for
better
sure.
off putting your money in a savings account. But anyway, D-Mac, I have to riff on something in society, and then quickly we will move on. All right? I haven't done this in a minute. Yesterday, I'm driving, and going down the expressway like normal, like we all do every single day of our lives. And I notice a guy in an SUV with the sticker on the back that says, "I hope something great happens to you today." Very nice sentiment, right? Very, very cool. Same dude as traffic begins to bunch up. And you know how you can anticipate when someone's going to cut into a lane as like the escape window is closing?
Yeah.
Same dude with the "I hope something great happens to you" sticker today. Slams in front of this minivan, cuts up, and then cuts another dude off and goes. So the guy with the "I hope something great happens to you today" sticker that cuts off two people with a total disregard for safety or anybody else in the world does that. So I want to get him a new sticker that says, "I hope something great happens to you as long as something better happens to me first." That's what the sticker should say. And that's what the sticker of all those people that have those stickers on the back should say. DMAC people want something great to happen to you as long as something better happens to them.
Yeah, I thought that maybe you just didn't read. That was a sticker on the left side. I hope something great happens to you today. And on the right side, it said, but not at my cost.
You're right.
But it's
absolutely.
not going to be when I'm around. So, I don't know, Neil. Isn't that sort of like society these days, and a little bit more all around wound up into a little bit of an episode?
It's all fake.
So he was implementing his own zipper effect. Did he get? That sounded like he zippered it. So does he get credit for you for using the zipper? Or?
No, it wasn't a construction. Like,
oh, it wasn't.
It was just one of those things where we're all rolling down the highway together, and you see there's like a gap, and it's closing. So the guy who wants something great to happen to you today, shoots that gap, cuts somebody off, cuts it back across, cuts another person off. So again. Anytime you guys see somebody with a sticker on the back of their SUV that says, I hope something great happens to you today, remember, they're an asshole. But they're trying to hide it.
Yep.
They're trying to hide it. I'm not falling for it. I know who you people are. So watch out for those people, Silent Mike. That's the moral of the story. All right, great. So we're in here doing it today. We certainly have a ton of the football. I have a Tigers question for the people. D-Mac. Are they in the playoff chase?
Games back. You got to say with three games back. And I think that, what brought to my attention a little bit more is looking at the schedule. I think to answer your question, because of the games that they have left to play that they have to take care of. But, to package it all down pretty much is that we have games against the White Sox. Right, that the rest of the league doesn't. We got some sort of games that you call gimme games that you still have to win. We've proven in the past that we can't win these. But if you look at the schedule, Neil, I would say that you can technically say 3 games out. You got it to here that you're in a race. What do you got, 18 left?
About that, yep.
Yeah, so, yes, I'll officially say it. Yeah, you are in a playoff race. You're coming home. You got Colorado. Take care of this. You got the schedule sort of favors you. So they're finding a way to get it done. And I'll say, yeah, you're challenging. It's doesn't it remind you of sort of the Red Wings last year?
Yes.
At the end of the season.
Except with the easy schedule instead of a tough one.
Here's the bottom line, right? And when I ask everybody, are you entertained? Do they make you watch? Have they got you back? Have they brought you back? And I'm a prime example because we talked about it earlier. Yeah, I'll listen if I get in the car and turn it on if it's on, but it's not must see. Now, again, you got to check in. You're checking in on scores. You're seeing what the game is, if they're up or if they're in the game, which it seems they're never out of it these days. It's not just Scooble's must-see TV. The rest of this team is. And to answer your question, Neil, yes. So officially they are in a playoff chase.
JL Rotax says, I hope your furnace works today, but I'm glad I've got a backup. So that one's pretty good in there. El Gato, that dude was probably driving his wife's car. James said, maybe it's just sarcasm. He might be a good dude. That's pretty deep if that's going to be sarcastic. So, no, it was just funny to me. Let's go Red Wings Sparty. Royals sweeping the Twins helped us get our sights on one team. The Twins have a tough stretch to end the season. And, that's it's. I would have preferred that the Twins beat the Royals because you have direct games against the Royals.
Right.
Like you control your fate
right.
more
You're not catching
against
the
Royals.
Twins. The best case scenario is you can catch the Royals. But just looking at the way the schedule's set up, I guess you always say this, Neil. Can you see a path?
There's definitely a path.
There's definitely a path. And if there's definitely a path, then you have to say at 3 games, that if they got it within 3 games, and technically isn't it 3.5, so because of the win-loss record, it's really 4.
No, it was 3.5. Now it's 3.
So now it's 3.
Yeah.
So hey, I'm going to sit here and say, did I think, look at how long it took them to chisel it from 7 to 5. They got it from 5 to 3.
And that was like winning a lot of games.
Maybe
too.
At the front end, and they had to consistently continue to play. So maybe at the front end, I guess the best part is they've made us tune in and dial in and watch. I was actually low key trying to figure out maybe I can make it to the ball game tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like
he is back.
I low key had that thought, and then I heard Scoobs is pitching. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah,
if they push him up. But
I have like I haven't been to a baseball game in 2-3 years, I think. I haven't been to a Tigers game.
But you've been to opening day.
I've been to opening day. That's for sure.
Regular.
So, Neil, where do you, like, because that's what it is, right? Isn't it like, I'm at a point where I'm not, earlier in the season, it was apathetic or whatever like this, is that now it's like they have my attention. They have my attention because, you know what? Look at the resurrection project they've done with Parker Meadows and they've done with Spencer Torkelson. Trey Sweeney, did I just see something about, was that
He had 4 hits the other day.
But rookie, or not rookie, but player of the week or stats of the week, 375. Like, so when they're putting guys in or giving guys an opportunity and they're coming through and they're helping this team win, I mean, you got to change your attitude, don't you?
No, absolutely. See, here's the thing, too. Like, it's really wild, isn't it? When did this, like, good sustained run seem to happen? Like, what changed?
Javi Baez left. They traded a couple guys, brought up the young dudes.
Like,
I know. Could it have been when you specifically brought to my attention, right? The Javi Baez thing is not a joke anymore.
No.
Because, and I think it was Let's Go Red Wing Sparty or whoever brought it up, because if you are a team that AJ Hinch, Scott Harris, their hitting coach, everything preaches plate discipline and everything else, and you have your highest paid player and somebody else that pretty much goes to his own tune because there's no accountability to him, what they did is they just gave accountability to the organization and boom. So forget about the fact we're not bagging on Javi Baez to anything other than look at the culture or the flow or whatever.
But it is that simple. Because what if I told you the Tigers low-key bought at the deadline by getting Trey Sweeney, and you bring in just an average dude at shortstop? Trey Sweeney, like, he's been on a run and everything. He's hitting .236. He has 3 home runs. He has a .712 OPS. Just that little this is how close this team was. Mm-hmm. That little minute
That's all
improvement.
you need, and a good glove. That's all you need at that position.
That was
right
it.
Now. Because that's serviceable, right? Dude. You said
About 100 points higher
716
than anybody else.
Hey, you said
see what I'm saying?
716 OPS, and I got so excited, like, oh my God, this is a 40-goal guy.
It was just that simple. It was because somebody sent me a social media. Do we still call them tweets? I still call them tweets.
I still call them tweets.
Okay, thank you. So I just need you to back me up. Somebody sent me a tweet and said, "Well, Neil, how about your Tigers now? Is it getting you upset?" I'm like, why would it get me upset? Again, it's a lot like the Michigan football thing. But no, it shows you I was right.
I ask you, I want more out of you than you wanted out of your
Yeah,
team.
like that. That was the line. That's how fine the line was. So it's a double win. Like, we're getting back in it. I love it. I'm happy. Obviously, I'm happy. And it also, too, tells me that he cannot be back here anymore.
So the imperativeness of they even have to see how. So this is what, a day, 2 days after the season ends?
Real quick here before we ride out. I know Spenny's getting on me about the break. Twins have the season tie break, so it's really 4 games out, just so everyone knows. Well, Lems, the Royals have the tie break over the Tigers. The Twins have the tie break over the Tigers. But the Tigers have the tie break over the Mariners and the Red Sox. So there you go. And then there's the Rays hanging around like they always do. I don't know how they do that. All right, we're going to do the football stuff. Tell them about Guardian, D-Mac.
Absolutely. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automated solutions specific to your needs. All Guardian Alarm wants you to do is call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as it's needed. Just call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work. And people have been proven to care. Business, pleasure, Guardian, they don't care. Just call them today. 1-800.
Stay out. Stay out of being 1-1 college football teams in the state of Michigan. Oh, wait. Can't relate.
Couldn't be me.
Couldn't be me.
No, absolutely. Stay out of the state of Michigan, Javi Baez, for the rest of your life.
All right, Guardian Alarm, your local security experts, tell them Big D Energy we sent you.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
All right.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer just in time for football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors at www.sorokis.com.
All right, keeping it pushing, everybody. Football is here. It is in full effect. Just clean up this Tigers discussion because they're in. They are in. Crazy Clown. It wasn't all Javi Baez's fault is what I'm saying. Everybody else saying he was the only one responsible. No, he was. He was the only one responsible. Crazy Clown, you know how I know? He goes out, they win 8 of the next 10 games. That's how I know.
Neil, just a fan says Neil, when in Florida, never works on his tan. He works on his tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
So look out,
the tan
boys.
happens naturally. You know?
Absolutely.
So yes, Crazy Clown, that it is his fault. It is his fault when you are a borderline playoff team and you have the worst everyday player in the history of baseball dragging you down. You take him out, you put just a major league average guy in his place, and then all of a sudden, look, you're in the mix. So yes, Crazy Clown, it is all his fault. That was the line. That way, if you had just a competent shortstop, they would be in the playoffs right now. They would be the ones being chased. You'll never convince me other. They got a Cy Young winning pitcher. He's like minus 5,000 or minus 10,000 to win the Cy Young.
You're going to win the Triple Crown.
He's a Triple Crown loading.
Like, you have the best pitcher in baseball. That is the line. So we'll get back to that, I'm sure. But you have the Rockies coming into town, and because you had Javi Baez on your team earlier, you are forced to sweep them. You are now. For all that stuff that we talked about before, D-Mac, it becomes even more accelerated. So we'll, David Witt, Neil deals in truth. Exactly. That's it. Crazy Neil is not a Dan Campbell guy. You're not a team guy. No, I'm not a Javi Baez guy.
Nobody should be. There shouldn't be a single Javi Baez fan in Detroit.
No, there isn't.
He's been the worst baseball player in the MLB for 2 years in a row. Like, come on. What are we doing here?
Greg B29, Neil, just on information from where? Just on information, look it up. The worst everyday player in baseball history. If you go by the OPS. So I think it was like since 1940, since the 40s, since war bonds.
War bonds.
Since they took trains to games, you'd play the Philadelphia Athletics and then take the train to New York to play the Giants.
And Maz has his hat with a thing that says press on it.
Yeah, and Maz is out for his 21st birthday in the pubs in New York City.
Extra.
Yeah.
Read all about it.
Yeah, I want a beer, huh?
Huh? Tom Mazaway for War Bonds. Uncle Sam needs you. Help defeat the Nazi Germans. I'm like, gee, War Bonds Maz. Tom Mazaway here for you. Yeah, so that's what it is. Neil doesn't pay attention to the games. Oh, no, I don't. I watch more baseball listen to more baseball than anybody in this room, including D-Mac, who watches Sunday night baseball.
Facts.
So there you go.
It is. Must-see TV in my household.
I know it is.
But here's the thing, right? A lot of times, too, right, the effect is not only, don't forget about his stats, but being around with the younger guys. Like we said before, you brought it up. The imperativeness is what's it look like to the younger guys who are trying to get up here. You got Torkelson back. You got Parker Meadows back. The fact that you think that there's a resurgence and sort of a saving of their season or even of their careers, so to speak, you got to get everything negative out of there.
Well, D-Mac, you're playing with 27 outs instead of 24.
Well,
like at a baseline.
That's the whole thing. But you see more discipline. You see more discipline throughout the lineup of what is being preached to us as fans, plate discipline, selection, stuff like this, even by guys who didn't have it before, right? What's the biggest thing with Torkelson right now? It seems that his plate discipline's gotten a lot better.
Well, D-Mac, and I'll take it one step further because I do watch the games, Crazy Clown, or listen to them. All the time, Crazy Clown. Because I do that, I can tell you this. They're always losing still at some point in the game. They're always losing at some point. But guess what? They come back. You know why they're able to come back? Because they have 27 outs instead of 24. They don't have a windmill standing up there every 8 batters. That's why. So, yes, it is on him. So, again, we'll get into it. I knew you guys would come through. Mike G.
On the wall bond.
Mike G. Maz was shining shoes for 2 bits. He was over there.
I hate Penny.
David Witt, back when the Jets were good. Burn. No, Neil. Alcohol was still banned when Maz was 21.
That's true.
No, didn't Maz say he used to sit outside the Jet Stadium and shine Joe Namath's shoes?
Yep.
2 bits.
2 bits, yeah, for 2 bits, everybody. They're talking about Maz covering Seabiscuit. Yes. Cotter Wiedner says, can we talk Lions? I need help on building a parlay. All right, how about this? Antoine Winfield set to miss next week against the Lions. And D-Mac, you
J-Mo
just hate
over.
to see it.
Over J-Mo everything.
You just hate to see it. I'm so sad for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And D-Mac, I got some. You watched the pregame show. You were tapped in from Second Best. You were watching. So chances are good you saw. My take on Jordan Love being hurt ruffled some feathers on social media because I was the only honest one about it. And my statement stands on Antoine Winfield with the Buccaneers. I don't care that he's out. I'm glad that he's out. D-Mac, I asked you this point. I know,
yeah,
I know you're stunned because we have to go back to this. I know you are. But no. D-Mac, would you rather, back in the day, would you have rather played the Canucks with Pavel Bure or without Pavel Bure?
Well, it's one of these things as you prepare, and you are prepared, right, for to play against whoever it is. But again, if they don't, I mean, do you not, like, and a lot of times it's not a letdown, but it gives you got to dig in a little bit more. Look at, like, last week. Are you upset that, the Rams, Aaron Donald retired and,
no,
they missed
I'm happy.
a couple of, no, absolutely. Were you upset that your offensive line just absolutely what they did early in the game came to fruition in overtime by just moving your will? No, that's what your best unit does. So, no, the fact is that if you were prepared for Antoine Winfield and what he does and what a special player he is, but now that he's out, how are you going to take advantage of him being out? Right? And so, dude, we saw it last weekend, right? That where J-Mo's, we saw it, Neil. We expected it. We saw it. I expect that the only thing, right, is with him is that if he stays available. Early on, got a little banged up. You're wondering, okay, but came back in resilience. Obviously, we saw his, what he meant in making the big plays and stuff. But if you don't think, like, anybody, here's a question I wanted to ask, and this will tie it in. Anybody concerned with Jared Goff being able to hit the speed of Jameson Williams now? Anybody?
That depends on your narrative, D-Mac.
Are people still concerned that Jameson Williams will outrun Goff's arm? No, because they worked on. I think that the timing there, then that makes it even more dangerous, right? Like this. Do you think that Jared Goff knows exactly what he's working with this kid?
100%, yeah.
100%, right? Even more so. So you look. So the big thing is, how do you exploit? When they miss their best, arguably their best player, whatever, how are you going to exploit? And it doesn't even matter when you're missing your best player on defense, arguably, but when you miss any players or any system, how are you going to exploit that? So that's something that the Lions and the Lions coaching staff on this Tuesday is an off day. They're in there. They know that. They're going to game plan just in case he might play, but if he doesn't, how are we going to exploit that? And that's what I look forward to, because that's what good teams do.
That's it. Mike G. Maz helped his buddy Abner Doubleday set up the bases. Chuck Brewer. Neil, you are consistent. You always take that side of the take because I'm the only honest one out here. And people were telling me on social, they're like, don't you want to beat other teams at their best? No, I don't.
That pissed me off last year when we were going into the Chiefs game. Everybody was like, oh, man, I would love to see them with Kelsey and Chris Jones. I don't care.
No,
I was like,
no,
fuck
absolutely
that.
not.
Yeah.
What?
I want to see them play everybody else with Kelsey.
Yeah, no
No,
thanks.
it's Chris Jones. Kelsey, I get it. You can play him. We'll do that. But not like Chris Jones. Still.
I want to win
That guy.
games. I don't care if everybody gets hurt and they have to send geriatrics out there. I want to see those guys. It still counts as a win.
If they have plane issues and they can't make it and they have to forfeit,
W.
Dubs.
Send out the school for the blind. Send out the
take Michigan's 1908 schedule and bring it out here.
They are wins. I want wins. I don't care how they happen. I don't care who they come against. I want to win football
The
games.
same way Michigan fans celebrate all-time leader in wins. And they literally have victories over the dental school of Chicago.
That is true.
Multiples.
KG said they should have been out there. That was funny.
there you go. All right. So yeah, I mean, I guess they could help themselves out after they get their teeth knocked out of their mouth.
That is true.
So it's there. Crazy Clown. I can't because Neil pisses me off to the point where I can't hardly type and I don't have an equal playing field. He's a bully.
You love Javi Baez that much?
Crazy Clown, come in studio. Let's chop it up.
It'll be way worse in person. I promise you that.
Come on, Crazy Clown, come on down. Let's chat. All I want to do is talk. Let's talk. It doesn't matter to me because I know what I'm talking about here, man.
Crazy Clown, stop defending Javi Baez. He fucking sucks. Like, what is going on? He is terrible. He's the worst contract in the history of Detroit sports. I don't understand how you're defending him. That's crazy.
Kevin Jarvis.
Clown.
What had Michigan State ever won?
Crazy. Clown.
Spenny. Jarvis. What had Michigan State ever won?
Championships.
If you go by since 1960, who's got more natties?
First team to integrate their football team. Well, they do. Went out there and won natties.
They were one of the dominant programs of the 60s.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to celebrate your wins over Chicago Dental School, then you got to keep it 100. That's all I'm saying. All right.
I learned about that in my sports journalism class, that there were like unwritten rules that even when teams were integrated, that if you go down to the South to play, a Southern team, that you don't start your black players. Michigan State said, fuck that. They went down there.
They're like, we don't care if Kelsey's out.
Just ran up a check.
That was it. So there's that. DMAC, people asking about your hair, man.
What about it?
Where'd you get it?
It's absolutely. You'll see. There's a reason, and I don't know if live it looks a little orange, but on camera it pops red hard. So there's some stuff. As you can see, I haven't been around much lately, but there's a method to the madness, and I can't tell you. I'm gonna have to kill you. But you'll see soon enough why we're doing it.
No, they know why, but where'd you get it done at?
Oh, where did I get it done? I'm sorry. Absolutely. Segue. Only one place out there. Lady Jane. Osmonds when a guy can be a guy, get an amazing haircut. Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Get the hot leather neck massage, or you can get the DMAC red hair. That one of the Lady Jane's talent styles make you look and feel great. Walking anytime, 7 days a week, Lady Jane's freaking awesome.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at randywisechevy.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Neil Rule here for Feldman Automotive. There's 18 Feldman Automotive locations in and around the Metro Detroit area. We all know about Feldman Chevrolet in Novi because they're Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. But what if you want a Ford? What if you want a Kia? What if you want any kind of car? Feldman's got you covered. Remember? Pop quiz. How many Feldman dealerships are there? 18 across all brands. So what does that mean for you? It means you get to go to feldmanauto.com and you get to buy any kind of car you want using the Feldman Advantage car buying experience. It's the most refined. It's the most crafted. It is the quickest. Bottom line, it's the quickest car buying experience in the game. Go to feldmanauto.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule. This is Darren McCarty. You know of his work. 4-time Stanley Cup champion out there. We have Silent Mike. We have Spencer Raxter in the building as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Jump into there. Get your thoughts out there. And the reason that we talked about the Antoine Winfield thing was because I think it makes this next topic relevant, D-Mac. Spenny had a good pull on the show sheet. And Spenny, I like analytics. I do, to a point. But this one has me intrigued because here's the visuals to it. We talk about the Jameson Williams effect, right? You into route trees? Check this out, D-Mac. The route chart for Jameson Williams. D-Mac, you see what those are all based on right there? You see what that tells me? How do we get this man moving fast?
That based on speed.
Fast.
Right? That just
hash mark to sideline, direct straight. How about the one in the middle up the right hash that loops back across? Speed. Why does that make the Antoine Winfield thing a very relevant storyline to this game this weekend?
I don't know who's their best cover guy.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that's usually out there breaking up?
He's one of the best in the game.
He's one of the best in the game. Remember last year, folks?
Top 3 safety in the NFL for sure.
What were we saying last year during the play? Spenny, you can break it down. What were we breaking down to? How we were going to beat Tampa Bay Bucks, and what we had to do is you have to know where Antoine Winfield is at all times.
Yep.
He's got that game, he's one of those game breaker mentality, whether with the pick or just a lot of IQ, leader in the backfield, play caller, stuff like this. So anytime that another team isn't missing a veteran guy like that, it makes everybody else have to step their game up. And so I would look at how are you going to try different guys? What happens when, there's a couple takeaways that I took from the Lions game. And it's definitely that, wow, secondary's better, right? I don't care what it is you're playing. You got to understand you're playing against Cooper Kupp, and I know Nakua went out, but Matthew Stafford is professional football.
Yeah.
Sean McVay, you're going to give up some passes. But what I saw is Carlton Davis, yes. Terrion Arnold, yes, rookie, but you can see what they have to Robinson, to the linebackers being better. We talk about Anzalone, 11 solo tackles and, 13 all game, but being there, being effective, looking quick. You saw that unit. I think they're going to get better, right? But
Yeah.
what did teams do to us in the past and always do to us? They tried our secondary, right? When there wasn't guys there, other teams keep trying our secondary. That's what we need to do against this secondary, and we have the weapons to do it. Anybody else? Amon-Ra St. Brown, three fantasy points, probably the worst productive game that he had at home, and it doesn't matter because you ask them, they won. So if you don't think he's probably a big part of the offense against Tampa Bay, game plan-wise, yes. So everything plays into what you want, playing at home, playing against a team without their best defensive back. So that means everything you saw there. Would you expect different flight patterns out of number 9? Or do you think that that's pretty much
Well,
the steady diet?
my question is, Spenny, like, what do you do with that? And I love it too that it's either streak based or it's behind the play. It's dragged out behind the play. Again, Spenny, the more you dig this stuff up, and the more we dig this stuff up, the more I'm telling people. And yesterday there was some pushback when I brought up the point that J-Mo's involvement's going to come at the cost of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep.
It directly is. We saw it. Game 1, we've seen it already. I'm not saying Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be a bum or anything like that. I'm saying the usage has to come from somewhere. And when it's dynamic like that, again, that is offensive coordinator porn, what you just put up there on that screen.
Yeah, and like you said, there's nothing you can do to stop it. When you have the fastest player in the NFL and he's getting a full running head start and hitting these deep ins and deep bends when a safety or a cornerback, whoever's trying to guard him, is backpedaling, there's literally nothing you can do to stop that. That is impossible to guard unless you are bracketing him. And if you bracket him, then you have other guys open. This is how we say it's a how do you want it offense. Like, they're going to go out there and they're going to do whatever they want. And if you overcompensate to stop one thing, they're going to kill you with something else.
And here's the one thing, Neil, you were talking to all the Amon-Ra St. Brown fantasy owners.
Right.
You weren't talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown because you think he gives a shit. No, at the end of the day, it's about victory.
And it
if he has
ties
a
in.
sacrifice, it's not. But his numbers and his are going to go down because of, and James Williams is going to be making those plays. He's going to be making those big plays. And as long at the end of the day, you're talking to the fantasy guys, right? But
Correct.
It doesn't mean the value of Amon-Ra St. Brown to being out there to part of that unit. He's going to have his days too. They're going to figure out how they're going to yin and yang. And when they yin and yang, yeah, they're both going to take away from each other.
I expect this week for it. They're going to drop a bomb on
You know
Tampa.
where it goes back to, right? It goes back to, remember when we sit around and go, okay, how many touchdowns for this guy? How many yards for Jared Goff? Remember, and you're like, well, Goff's got 7,000 yards, right? Like you wish you had, but this is where he's going to end up between probably, if he's healthy, I would think 45 to 5,000. He could hit there with the weapons because a lot of these deep balls, right? With Jameson Williams. So, but the fact is that there's only so many yards and there's so many opportunities, but I think that the yin and yang are going to make them so much better. So much better. And if it's this week, what I like, a couple things that I like about this week, Winfield out. Baker Mayfield, great game last week. I always love playing Baker after
a good game.
After he's had a great game. You know what I'm saying? So the fact is it plays out. And he's a competitor and stuff like this, but I think that we're set up real good, and especially after what Tampa did last week.
No, and for me, D-Mac, it goes back to what you said, and you drop these little nuggets that are based in reality, based on experience, based on winning. They're nuanced. You have to want to hear them. But my takeaway from it is when the guy next to you matters more than you do, that's when you have a championship culture.
Dude, listen to the conversations out of and I love when they talk, right? Because when they're asking the interview, and I go back to what's the word they're asking Amon-Ra St. Brown out of the wide receivers room. What's the narrative? What's the narrative out of the running backs room, right? These are the group out of the linebackers room. These are the groups that know that they have to push each other, and Amon-Ra St. Brown knows that he's got to care about Jameson Williams, just the fact that it's got to go yin and yang, because at the end of the day, they don't care as long as they get it done. When they're in that receiving room, at the end of the day, it's all about the tutties and the yards and did we win the game. That's all these guys care about.
No, absolutely. Woodward Sports chat thread, Sue you, Goff barely had 217 yards. He can't average 300 to 350 a game like he should. And I knew this was going to happen, and I got to send a shout-out to my guy Pete Smith for doing this. He sent me a great article from the Defector. Talks about how it's a field goal league now. Touchdown passes are down over 10% this year.
It's one game. Jesus Christ.
But it was across the league, Spenny.
Yeah, but
there were 68 field goals and 35 touchdown passes in the entire league this weekend.
I'd like to see how many snaps that those quarterbacks got during the preseason, because I think that could be a factor.
Yeah, you're walking when
you don't have the dress rehearsal anymore.
When you're watching the Browns game and the Cowboys game, and it's Deshaun Watson's first time under center, from camp or whatever. Like all these guys.
Remember, that's how it used to be in the preseason. You do, play them a quarter, then a half, then 3 quarters, and then you have a dress rehearsal. You don't do that anymore. Goff didn't play a single snap in the preseason. Like, a lot of quarterbacks didn't. So I'm not too worried about that. They're going to score plenty of touchdowns.
Well, but the point of it is there's been kind of a fundamental shift over the last couple seasons.
Yes.
Like, touchdown passes are down, which makes Goff's run as of late even a little more impressive, in my opinion, anyway. So, yeah, it's funny that, see, you know how I talk about checklists, Benny? Like, the fans always have a checklist. Like, haters have a checklist, and they have their number 1 talking point. When that gets beat, they got to go to number 2, then they got to go to number 3. And now they're on Goff has to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
You're a recovering one.
I am.
Did you have a checklist, Benny?
I fight it every day. I did have a checklist, and that was on it, for sure.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying, D-Mac? Like, it is funny to me that, and here's Skinny says, fans complaining about the Goff to J-Mo connection, LOL. Yeah, that's my point, man. Like, it is.
Looked pretty damn good last week.
It's wild to me. Wild to me.
Yeah, it's you hear it somewhere is that it seems like today's day and age, instead of being right or calling it the way you see it, it's more of you got to stick up for your narrative. Right?
Speaking of narratives, before we ride off to the break here, before Spenny tells about Premier Pet Supply, the clown. Neil claims I'm defending Javi, which obviously he doesn't care what my point ever was. Bye, Neil. I'm not making your segment anymore. Okay, number 1, goodbye, crazy clown.
Bro thinks he's the main character.
I will get my check. My check will still clear. We know that for a fact. And number 2, crazy clown. Wasn't your original comment, quote, it's not all on Javi Baez? When I gave you stats that the second he was gone, they won 8 of 10 games, and they don't have the worst everyday player in the history of Major League Baseball. I didn't hear you defend that.
Yep.
It's statistically correct. He's one of the worst everyday players the game of baseball has ever seen. The Roar of 24. Neil can't stop talking about Javi Baez, which proves my point. It was always just pick a player and run with it with Neil.
It's just always pick Javi.
No. The dumbest thing I've ever
it's
heard.
always pick the worst everyday player in the history of baseball and run with it.
Yeah. Are the Roar of 24? Are you going to honestly sit there and say Javi Baez wasn't a problem? Because if that's what you're saying, you're an idiot, and that's all it is.
And the biggest problem.
Yes, on any team in baseball.
In the history of baseball, he's the biggest problem in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
It's proven.
Well, we know Javi Baez isn't a dog anymore, but if you got a dog and you want to take care of him, make sure you go to Premier Pet Supply. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences, the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They are family and locally owned and operated for over 30 years with 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Woodward merch. Yes, shop.woodwardsports.com. The Boot 'Em Kids was a success. We saw them all around Ford Field. You guys sent pictures of you guys wearing them. You know, you can still get the Stoke Not Scared shirt. You got to go to shop.woodwardsports.com because I'm sensing some people scared after that first game for some reason. Remind them. Let them know. Stoke Not Scared. Stoke Not Scared. Shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty here in the house. We got Silent Mike. We got Spencer Raxter. We have all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, except for Crazy Clown, who said he can't take me anymore and he's leaving. So rest in peace, Crazy Clown. We'll check back with you later. And then there's this angle. Sue you. I'm not a Goff hater. Just he should average 275 to 350 passing yards per game in this offense. So Sue you wants Jared Goff to throw for 5,950 yards per year. Right? Did I miss anything?
That's what he said. I think he's going to hit 5,000, but 6,000 is aggressive.
It's a little aggressive.
A little bit.
Seeing as it's never been done in history.
I like the confidence. You got an extra game. Maybe they'll give you an extra 1,000 yards.
Yeah. So, yeah, it definitely is out there. We have some Dan Campbell sound. This was from the presser yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Correct?
Yes, we do.
One of the hot topics, the defense. And D-Mac, I want to get your take on it because you got a fresh opinion, and you weren't here yesterday. I had an epiphany about the defense yesterday, and I want to hear Dan Campbell break it down specifically. Can we do the edges first?
Okay.
Because I want to hear him talk about the edges, because all I heard all day yesterday was 2 sacks isn't good enough. It can't work like that. But I want to hear what Dan Campbell had to say.
This was the vision the whole time. This is what we knew we were going to get when we got Davenport. And we felt really good about the production Hutch is bringing and brought last year and what he was going to be able to bring this year. And then just the thought of somebody who can crunch the can over there, man, crush the can and send him his way a little bit or vice versa. And that's what Davenport can do. He's long, he's physical, he's strong, he's a big man. And so that showed up today. You know, it showed up. We were able to hem him up a few times in there, and so it's good for him. It's going to be good for Hutch, and it's going to be good for Davenport.
And check, right? What was your take on it?
Yeah, no, to me, what it seemed, right, and I saw that different. I mentioned it earlier about the secondary and just as a unit. I think this team gets better defensively as they have more time together. I like what I saw from Davenport, right, where the coach is talking about crushing the can or making it a couple. You know, the veteran that staff. You're playing one of the most tenured veterans in the NFL that's seen everything in Matthew Stafford that can allude. You know, he alluded a couple times where it looked like Hutch was there and stuff like that. I think they're going to get better. Right, the more time that they spend together. I liked what I saw. It was a lot more bend, don't break. I mean, how can you to what they held, and I know they gave up 300 in the teens yardage, but he threw it 49 times
to get 300 yards.
No, I mean, like, to me in the past, last year, 49 times attempted, and we saw it against the same team in the playoffs, how Puka Nacua ran wild. They tried to, do it early. He got injured, stuff like this, but we adjusted. But I don't care what it is. Last year, we would have gave up 600 yards. I just feel that. It just felt different. It looked different.
Spenny broke it down perfectly. You know why that was? The tackles were made. Except for one time, the tackle was always made.
And how good is that if the opening play, Anzalone stepping up and solid tackle is, hopefully that's the telltale sign of what this year is going to be, right? So the fact is, right, Spenny nailed that. If we're making tackle, like NFL teams are going to make NFL plays, they're supposed to, right? Aaron Glenn's going against Sean McVay, one of the best offensive minds. And so at the end of the day, what coach said, this is what the league is. This is what this division is, whatever else. At the end of the day, it's about winning games. And I saw, and you always want to get better, but I saw so much improvement from that last game last year. And it's more of a bend but don't break and put yourself in a position like other great teams do to take the ball and not only go down and tie the game, but win it and not give the other team an opportunity. I said yesterday, best play of the game was the coin toss in overtime.
It was.
I mean, like that. Like
and Stafford was a bum.
Just saying.
Standing on the sidelines.
Just saying. So
and he controlled it.
So it's exciting. It's exciting because what you saw in that opening game is exactly what we've been told, right? As far as what is your number one unit. That's your offensive line.
That's
who
sure.
proved that and what they did throughout the game set them up. I asked Lomas Brown this yesterday. I was at Ted Lindsay Golf Outing. I said, Lomas, as a former offensive lineman, did the overtime David Montgomery just running dominance, was that set up late in the game, early in the game, whatever? And he said from play one, exacting the will. And then when you as an offensive line knows, it's like going out and playing against elementary school kids as a high school kid or something like that. You just know that you can push your will on it. And that, as we've talked about, as the game goes on, what makes that's your asset, your offensive line, your dominance. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a perfect game. They got things to improve on, but if we're sitting here, that's a team out of anything that I saw week one is a team that can win the Super Bowl.
And for me, D-Mac, like the further I get away from this game, the more I really like it. For real. And then you start digesting the stats, and I get to what I call the Spencer Raxter effect. Spenny, Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, 18 tackles.
Yep.
Combined. 14 of them solo. You were right, because I was a little bit tougher on Terrion Arnold than most people were. But he is everything that you said on that draft show that day. He is everything that you said. And I should have trusted the Spencer. I've broken film with you before, i.e. sat and watched YouTube.
Yep.
We call it breaking film, though, because it sounds a lot cooler.
It does sound a lot better.
It does. I really like what I saw from him tackling. And you know what? We overvalue this, like the Stafford thing with the 300-yard. We overvalue this passing game and coverage. Mm-hmm. We overvalue lockdown coverage. The offense knows where they're going. You don't. So at a baseline, you're at a disadvantage. You know what this is? People say like it's a passing league or stuff like that. It's a tackling league. Mm-hmm. If you tackle, you win. And the Lions tackled at an elite level. And D-Mac, I'm kind of tying this into what you said right now. They are 1,000,000% improved defensively because the missed tackle is akin to a turnover in this game. It is. It's in that family. If you miss tackles, that's what flips games.
Which just clicked on me. What was the whole thing? Let's go to Alex Anzalone, right? Like, has speed, but we running by tackles all the time, miss whatever. And he planted that first one of the year. Plus, he went out and had 11 solo. Look at the solo tackles, right? That tells everything. Mm-hmm. Right, and the trust, and somebody said in the chat thread where it was Brian Branch that missed a few tackles, and when he comes back in the dressing room, the accountability to each other, paraphrasing the quote is that I won't miss those anymore, right? Which is improving. I was built, Scotty Bowman, is you're allowed to make that mistake, don't make it again. So that's something to watch out for. Is Brian Branch? His tackling getting better because he's got to be accountable to the rest of those guys. That's the beauty. The beauty is you got Davis and you got Arnold in there, and then stat sheets telling like we're doing it, bro. And it's going to force him to be better. They're going to force each other to be better.
Yeah, I saw Brian Branch miss at least 3 tackles. He had the dropped interception. He had a bad game.
Yeah.
And that's what impressed me the most about the defense. You have a guy who is arguably the second best player on your defense have the worst game of his career, and you still go out there and you put up a good defensive performance. And like you said, the cornerbacks of the Detroit Lions had Sean McVay scared because they are sticky in man coverage and off the line. So if he tried to do what he wanted to do without putting Cooper Kupp in so much motion, Stafford would have been dead because the pass rush was getting to him. He motioned more than he has in any game in his career except for one. Cooper Kupp was running all during pre-snap so he could get off the line free and hit on those short
and
1-2 yard routes.
And all that for 8 yards a catch.
Yep. And they made him work. And Cooper Kupp's going to get his. He's one of the best route runners in the NFL. He's got some of the best hands in the NFL. But they're keeping him in front of him. hitting him off the line, so he had to be running pre-snap and getting this to Stafford so they couldn't set up these late-breaking routes.
You know what is imperative to me? Carlton Davis is that dude.
Yes.
He's that, right, man, give me the smoke, and he wants it, and he wanted all of it. And he's a big dude. Like, he's there. You know, how many times have we in the past are we used to having a DB, not just, and it's not size, but just a little bit, oh, man, he was so close, or his hand was so close. And then what is he got, Carlton Davis? He's in that lane. He's there. Like, there's something that I watched and went, this is different than what I've seen in the past. Even from our lockdown guy, because Spenny brings it up. It's the physicality.
Dante 151. I wore my Terry and Arnold jersey that I won in a drawing from the Morning Woo crew. Shout out, Dante 151.
Can I ask a quick question? Right?
Sure, show, yeah.
So Spenny, to that point, right? I think it's imperative we would take a look. Does Tampa Bay, right? We know Tampa's got Mike Evans and Godwin, but do they have that personnel to use that motion?
Baker Mayfield might die next week.
That my point being, right, is that Baker's not as elusive as, and Stafford's not like the most elusive guy, but he's smart. And I'm not saying Baker's not smart, but Baker can think about where he wants to go, but I don't know if he'll be able to do that. I think the real test to what we're talking about, Davenport, DJ Reader even being in there, Ali, you know, you look at Aleem and you look at the way that, you know, the line did, that you're right. This could be a feast.
It's Cooper Kupp literally ran over 400 yards of pre-snap motion against the Lions. You're not doing that with Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a deep breaking route guy. You could do it with Chris Godwin a little bit, but Chris Godwin even isn't what Cooper Kupp is. So having Cooper Kupp run 400 yards before the ball is snapped, just so you can get him open so the pass rush doesn't get home. The Bucs offensive line is better than what we saw against the Rams for sure, but they're not going to have the freedom to be able to move him around like that.
No, and that's really what it is to it. And I like this matchup a lot for the Lions this weekend. You guys hear me talk about this, and we'll get into it too, like as the week goes on. But this DMAC is the old-fashioned spot play. This is a spot. Baker Mayfield coming off a 4-touchdown performance where they dominated Washington, and he's proven there's always a yang to the yin with Baker Mayfield.
Can I do my parlay real quick? I just thought of.
Yeah.
All right, I'm doing Baker Mayfield interception, Kirby Joseph I'll do Kirby Joseph again to get an interception. Jamison Williams over in yards. Jamison Williams anytime touchdown. Rashad White under yards. Under. I don't care if his over-under is set at 30. You take the under on that. DJ Reader's going to be back, and that defensive line shut down Kyron Williams. Rashad White's going to get nothing.
Nice fat little payday on that, I'm sure, right?
It'll be pretty nice.
Now, you know what else is nice? The best Lions pregame party in Detroit. That's right. Second best bar, 42 Watson Street. The ultimate fan experience. It was on and bumping. We had a blast out there. Myself and Sean Belesian will be out there for the pregame show. Only at Second Best Bar. Brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. The folks at New Holland, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, all of them, everybody. It was absolutely incredible. Guys, I'm telling you, that's going to be the spot from now on. Going down to LCA, Tigers games, whatever, I'm pulling up. And get the Nashville chicken sandwich. They put coleslaw on it. It's elite, everybody. We'll see you down there. This Sunday, as a matter of fact. Second best, 42 Brandon Watson Street.
What about Planet Fitness?
Oh, Planet Fitness. You guys already know what it is. The best gym in the gym game. And, guys, I'll tell you this. Let's just get right to the chase, all right? $24.99 a month for the Black Card. You get unlimited use of all the facilities, the hydro massage chairs, the tanning, whatever you want to do in there, you get to do with Planet Fitness. And you can work out however you want to work out. You want to do the cardio? I'll be over there. Army of treadmills, steppers, ellipticals, all of that. You want to clang those weights around? Spencer Raxton will be there doing shoulders and crazy stuff like that.
Shoulders today.
See, I knew. They got a stretch machine out there. I've been on that one as of late also. They got a 30-minute circuit if you're pressed for time. What does it mean? It means whatever you want to do, you can get done. They're removing all the excuses, everybody. It's not the price, because I know some of you are paying $70, $80, $90 a month for a gym membership that you don't even use. Planet Fitness is the play, everybody. Come on. Pull up to any one of the 50-plus Metro Detroit locations and join there. Or jump on your computer, go to planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
The Great American Chevy Week is back and bigger than ever at Feldman Chevrolet. Choose from the largest inventory of award-winning Chevys, all priced to move for the biggest week of the year. Get this 2024 Silverado for only $213 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $249 a month. Feldman takes the Great American Chevy Week to another level. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How would you like $10 of free money to spend? We all would. All you have to do is get out into any Dispo dispensary, spend $25 at minimum, and boom, $10 free. Get yourself pre-roll, edible, whatever it else is. 12 Dispo dispensaries all around. DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
All right, pulling up hour number 2 of the show. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, 4-time Stanley Cup champion. Thanks for tapping in. We got Silent Mike in the sound booth. We have Spencer Raxter in the building as well. Shout out heavyweights, by the way.
Shout out.
5 to 7. Make sure you tap in to that. And get your thoughts. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Get your thoughts out there. We've been doing it. Dr. Jeff Pierce going to join us coming up in about 10 minutes. We're talking about Jordan Love.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about MCLs.
Oh, yeah. I got the video.
Good. And I took some heat because I said I was happy that he's hurt and that he's out. Sorry, I'm honest. I've always told you guys this. When I talk, what's Benny?
Well,
What?
nothing. It's just crazy.
What's crazy?
Saying you're happy he's out or he's hurt.
I am.
You're saying who's hurt?
Jordan Love. I'm happy he's out. That weakens the Packers. The Packers are a threat to us. Sorry, man.
And the longer it takes for him to get back, then the longer
better
it takes
it
him to get
is.
in rhythm and stuff
The
like that.
better it
Yeah,
is.
we're at war in this division, right? If everybody goes down or whatever, this ain't anything personal. I want him to be better or whatever, but
Yeah.
we got mission at hand. Let us get, he can come, he comes back.
He got his money.
If he comes, dude, that's the bet, right? You don't feel bad. He's got it. He's got his money, ain't going anywhere.
So did Dak.
Less of a threat.
That's it.
Right?
D-Mac, my dad wants to know when you're going to be back at one of the watch parties.
You know what?
He was in attendance. The whole fam came
Was
down.
he?
Yeah.
Probably a few weeks. Fortunately, they got me doing stuff on these weekends, but soon enough at the Hayes Social Club, like that.
Yeah.
Sit around, order food.
Oh yeah.
Watch drinks.
It was
scenery. Awesome.
My mom, my sister, my dad, and my friend Josh showed up.
Danny, we'll get together and we'll figure it out. We'll make it a whole affair. But sometime soon, probably a road game, I would expect.
Triple nickel. I'm with Neil. I'm happy he got hurt, but I don't wish it on anybody. But if players get hurt, that helps us, which makes it happy. That's my statement exactly.
I think that's what you just said.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but better than that. If somebody's got to get hurt in a league that is 100% injury, like what? That's not being mean or bad or whatever.
No.
What it is. It's not like you said he went down and hurt, and you're like, I hope he never comes back, and he's hurt. The thing is, when he got hurt, everybody's like, dude, I hope he's not seriously hurt. Oh, he's going to be out for 4 weeks? Okay, bonus for us. Right? So even more imperativeness, we got to take advantage.
And that's exactly where I'm at with it. Woodward Sports chat thread jump in to their Andrew Jones, but now we're forced to watch Malik Willis play football. I will say this.
Look out.
Spenny, if it works, I'll be.
Come on,
oh
man.
my God,
it can't work.
I'll be so devastated.
Yeah, there's no way it can work. I mean,
what if it does?
It's not gonna not work. Like he's Matt LaFleur is a damn good coach. Like, he's going to get the most out of him for sure, but he's not going to be Jordan Love.
What if it works, D-Mac?
I wouldn't be surprised if they signed Tannehill.
No. What if it works? Then Spenny nailed it. Matt LaFleur is an absolute genius. And here's the thing: is that like this is the NFL, and obviously they think that they have something, but Malik Willis is somebody you have to put in the position to succeed, right? You can't let it, let him run free, in the decisions. I think it'll be pretty stoic to whatever their game plan is.
Oh, of course, the Packers. They got the Colts at home. They're at the Titans. They're home against the Vikings. Of course, that's their schedule. Busters.
Yeah. Huh?
I just put money on Lions -7 before it goes any higher.
Is that what the number is up to? It is going to go higher.
Antoine Winfield out, DJ Reader back. That's going to creep up to probably 8.5.
That's a little aggressive, but I see you working. I'm not in. It takes a lot to get you off 7.
Yeah.
Then it takes a lot to get you off 7.5 too. So we'll see. Skydog, no different. Neil, no different from the Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua. Happy because it improved the Lions' chances at winning. Yeah, I'm honest about it, guys. I'll definitely. I'm not apologizing for it. Denzel Vance. That makes me nervous if Malik Willis works. What if he does though, D-Mac? I'll be so bitter.
Then, like I said, then the Packers, that's a great organization that saw something in Sean, and then Matt LaFleur was able, he's a better coach than we thought. I mean, that's it. I mean, nobody has faith in that. I think he'll be, serviceable in a way, but they had to have something.
Yeah, he's not going to be Jordan Love. Expect a lot out of Josh Jacobs in the next couple weeks. He's going to get a lot of carries.
A lot of work, man. Yeah. No, he absolutely has to. Let's do this. Let's take the break, and we'll come back. Dr. Pierce scheduled to join us coming up at about 12:15. Do you guys want to do the rest in peace when we come back to hold the fort down? All right, let's do that. Let's put some people in the coffins. I can't wait for that. Let me see here. Yeah, tell them about Swiss Insurance. D-Mac,
absolutely. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. How do you go about doing it? Well, you call my buddy Mark today at Swiss Insurance, 313-530-1698, or go to SwissINS.com.
At Planet Fitness, you can get everything you need for just $1 down. Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Hey, y'all better get on these free fitness training sessions from Planet Fitness.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
Join Planet Fitness today and get everything you need for just $1 down. $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, July 18th.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? Well, you expand and offer more products to more people. Exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick and GMC. Same great service the customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford and Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. We are back off and running. Dr. Jeff Pierce from the Michigan Sport and Spine Center will be joining us coming up in just a little bit. We are, ironic enough, we are going to talk about Jordan Love and MCLs and things of that nature. Shout out Jackson, who's here in the booth, by the way. Wayne State University Broadcasting student. Shout out, man. You're learning from one of the GOATs in there in Silent Mike. He's a man of few words, but
all action.
Big actions.
Big in the HR department here. D-Mac, big fan because less words, all action. He's all business.
Not problematic.
Never at all. In fact, I have to apologize, Silent Mike. You run into him half the time because I don't even realize that he's there.
All right, let's put some people in some coffins. Y'all ready?
Yes.
It is Rest in Peace Tuesday.
All right. Can I go?
Yes.
Can I go first? All right. I'm doing Rest in Peace to Deshaun Watson. Right?
Yes.
It's over. It's over.
It's
Deshaun
been
Watson.
over.
He was getting his powers from those under the table handies that he was getting in Houston. It's done. This guy is so bad. I'm surprised because he looked so good when he was playing for the Texans. Looked like he was going to be a top 5 quarterback consensus in the NFL for a long time. I bought in, but this guy is bad.
He's
man.
a bum,
and he's got 2 fantastic route. Amari Cooper, I think, is the best route runner in the NFL. Jerry Jeudy is a damn good route runner when you give him the ball in space. These guys are getting open. David Njoku, complete freak of nature at tight end. He's got weapons. He just sucks, man. It is crazy. Watson is absolutely cooked. RIP to Deshaun Watson being a good quarterback. I shout out to Big Cat and the guys that parted my take because they said, is Deshaun Watson so bad at football that now he's actually a better person than he is a quarterback?
He's crossed that bridge.
He flipped the script. I thought that was so funny.
He has absolutely crossed that bridge.
So shout out to those guys that pardon my take. But yeah, Deshaun Watson sucks. R.I.P. Deshaun Watson.
Well, you know, Spenny, you can cut him after this year
and
have $173 million in dead cap space.
$200 million.
Yeah. He's the biggest bag man in history.
You know what it tells me?
Dak got more.
You know what it tells me, too?
No, but I mean, but Dak's actually got to play.
Dak's actually good, yeah.
Joe Flacco last year. You know what Joe Flacco was to the Browns? You're here in the casino, right? You bring $500 to gamble with, and you get your ass kicked. And you lose $480 in like an hour. And it doesn't go well. And Joe Flacco last year was at $20 in your pocket that you say, you know what? F it. You throw it on black 13.
Yeah.
And it hits. And you win $600.
He's elite.
And you're $700 and you're like, we got away with that.
I can do, yeah.
Yeah, we had a good day. We got away with it. That's what that Joe Flacco performance was. You can't win. The Browns cannot, and it's a damn shit. Poor Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Poor Myles Garrett, man.
Or Amari Cooper.
Poor Amari Cooper.
Goes from the Cowboys to the Browns.
Absolutely brutal.
I saw Baker Mayfield's quarterback rating was 144, and Deshaun Watson's was like 42 or something like that.
The absolute
Now,
worst.
is any of this, just before we move on, is any of this just through rust?
No, he just sucks.
No, he's been rusty for 2 years.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, well, I'm just asking if anybody thinks that, like, so we're all in agreement.
Yep.
Yes. Aaron to the Stone, Neil, your laugh just then about Deshaun Watson's dead money was maniacal, and I loved it. Hey, man. John Hughes, single worst trade ever in all of sports.
It is probably the worst trade in all of sports, yeah.
And it's because of the contract.
Yep.
It wasn't even the trade. I applaud him. The 49ers did it for Trey Lance. They got away with it.
Yep.
Now they had to hit their last $20 in their pocket in the roulette
and
wheel
the last quarterback of the draft, the last player of the draft. Yeah.
You know. So, but they did. They got away with it. But yeah, David Witt, Flacco season loading. No, it's absolutely brutal. D-Mac, who you putting in the casket?
Oh, Spenny, we said this is like literally putting the casket, but I could not pass it by without paying respects to one of the iconic voices and characters of my youth. Yes, Darth Vader, Mufasa, James Earl Jones himself. So I had the picture up there at the Empire State Building where they did Darth Vader to anybody else. So
literal rest in peace.
Literal
That's
rest in peace.
think.
And because I thought he was so iconic that I would step out, and I feel a little bit Maz in this way, but
James Earl Jones is a legend.
Iconic, because you know what? It's one of those voices that we all, right, no matter what age, Gen X, Z, millennial, whatever like this, knows exactly who that voice is. So rest in peace, and thanks for narrating a lot of my pop culture.
No doubt. And he was iconic. The voice was absolutely iconic.
The two that I always, it's the James Earl Jones and the Morgan Freeman, right?
Yeah.
Whenever they're, and Matthew McConaughey too. It's certain when they're narrating things, right? You just gotta listen. So rest in peace.
No doubt about that. That was a tough blow. That was a tough blow to hear. Woodward Sports chat thread, Justin Galena. What would you say about Watson if he throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns last week? It's week 1. Okay, well, you say it's week 1.
He didn't.
And then I go back to last year when he had a QBR of 43.7. Then you say, well, that was last year. Then I go back to the year before when he had a QBR of 63.7.
Yeah.
Notice a trend here? Now we're talking like when COVID was going on. That's the last time that he had a good season.
What kind of hypothetical is that? What would you say about Deshaun Watson if he was a good quarterback? Well, then we'd say he's a good quarterback,
right.
but he's not.
He's trash.
Yeah.
He's a better person than he is a quarterback.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, another lawsuit dropped yesterday on him.
Oh, shit, really?
100%.
Yeah.
So there it is. He's trying. Well, he heard that, right? They're saying, well, maybe he's a better person than quarterback.
Yeah,
he wanted to swing the pendulum
He's got to even the numbers out.
Yeah, no, I'm not. All right, Silent Mike's a man of few words, so Silent Mike doesn't have any rest in peace for anybody. My rest in peace, which was minus 50,000. Rest in peace, Aaron Rodgers.
Dun, dun.
Rest in peace, A-Raj, because guess what? It's over. Nice little 167 yards you had last night. My favorite thing about him, is the keep that shit out of the locker room that doesn't help us win. Really? You're the one on peyote. You're the one on the darkness retreats.
Giving himself enemas.
Yeah, you're the one giving yourself enemas. You're the one getting immunized. You're the one talking about maybe running for vice president. That's you. You say it about everybody else, and look at the way you are. And oh, by the way, didn't look too sharp coming off the Achilles. You notice some movement issues last night, Spenny?
Yeah.
Did you notice them?
He was looking a little clunky.
Looking a little limited.
Yeah.
It always ends like this. We buy into this time after time after time. You get these quarterbacks in here that are pushing 40, coming off major injury. Oh, well, he'll recap some of the magic. It's over. And guess what? It's over for the Jets already. Oh, well, Neil, it's week 1. Yeah, everyone else in the Division 1, including the broke-ass Patriots.
Yeah.
Your quarterback can't move.
Joe Burrow looked like shit.
Hassan Reddick is MIA. It's over for the Jets, and it's mainly over for the Jets because it's over for Aaron Rodgers.
They should trade us Quinnen Williams.
They should. They should do a tear-down right now.
And Garrett Wilson. We'll give you Tom Kennedy. That's it.
Aaron Rodgers is a bum.
He is.
And I love it. I love that it's over. I love it. I can't wait.
I kind of wanted to RIP the Trevor Lawrence hype.
Well, you can't use them all in week 1.
Yeah.
That one will take care of itself.
That's fair.
You'll have every opportunity. Steve DeYoung, Neil, does last night's performance cue Rodgers' imminent coming to the Vikings in the offseason to complete his journey into Favredom? That's next. Okay. Someone else will take a spin on that. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the break because our guy, Dr. Jeff Pierce, is here in the building, and I want to talk about this Jordan Love situation, and I want to talk about the knee structure, and I want to talk about it all. How will this impact him going forward, in Dr. Pierce's humble opinion? We love it. He is our injury insider, and he'll be breaking it down coming up in just a couple of minutes. Let's talk about the pregame show, though, at NFL Sunday on Woodward Sports, shall we? Because we are doing it better than anyone else. It kicks off with Woodward in Maine. That's right, your source for all the insider information on your Detroit Lions. The legendary Terry Foster. He used to be Matt Broder, but now he's Matthew Broder. No word on if his real first name is John or not, but Matthew Broder and Terry Foster.
Matthew Broder.
Sunday mornings, 8 to 9 a.m. And don't forget the New Holland Brewing pregame show live at Second Best, 42 Watson Street in Detroit, a couple blocks away from Little Caesars Arena. Come on out to there. We'll be live 10 a.m. to noon. Myself and Sean Belesian, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. The New Holland long drinks will be flowing as well. Yes, it's 10 a.m., but that's not going to stop everybody down there. The vibes were immaculate there. It's a great spot, everybody. They got a little courtyard with the lawn games, a big screen out. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't been there, come check it out. Shout out Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Shout out Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Shout out mixing them together, everybody, because it's game day in Detroit. No one is doing it better than Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, we're just seconds away from the expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine Center. He's here every Tuesday with us. He's every Thursday. He cheats on us and goes to Ermanni and Edwards, but he offers the same top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that Darren McCarty trusted with his career. Dr. Jeff Pierce will keep you in the game and performing at your best level. He's even got me stretching, everybody. Like, come on now. Spenny's stretching. He's on a heater, everybody. For more info, go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Scan the QR code on your screen. His appearance powered by Amon-Ra of Southfield. All right, it is that time. Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Silent Mike in the booth, KG's on vacay, Spencer Raxter, all of you as well. And Dr. Pierce, NFL football is back, which means injuries are back. What's up? How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, man.
I just want to underline getting you and Spence to start stretching is like, if I can get you guys on the right track, I can.
What can he do
anybody.
for you?
That's
like,
right. I
come
can
on.
get anybody to move along.
No. I'll tell you this real quick before we get into the Jordan Love thing. That's what I'm on right now.
That's what you're itching?
But we got a couple things. We'll talk about Jahmyr Gibbs. Maybe I'll ask you a question about Aaron Rodgers and his demise. I will say this, Doc. I got on the stretching, and I asked you last week. I said, "Is it a placebo like that? I feel more flexible." I'm convinced now. I am more flexible after one. I am. I'm more flexible. I don't get sore. I got literally sore. But now we're after the first time we did it all.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Now it's routine.
Now it's routine, and I like it. Is that weird?
No, it's, we don't want to talk about addiction stuff, but there's addictions to good stuff too, that good feeling, that euphoria feeling, and it actually creates the motivation also. So no, it's not. It's great. It's the feedback you need for yourself, which you admitted earlier. Sometimes you can hear it so many times, but until you're convinced mentally,
that's it.
That's when you become successful with any treatment plan that we're going to put together. You got to believe in who's telling it to you, which hopefully you believe in what I'm saying. But if I can't convince you or I can't create something that you can relate to, like I can go give you a whole floor plan that's going to make you fit, all day long. But if you don't like it, you're not going to want to do it. Correct?
Absolutely. No, but I'm digging
Spence getting, he's a little bit slow to the bandwagon, but he'll get there.
He's there. All right. You didn't come here to talk about that. We came here, DMAC, to talk about this. And Spenny, you have video of it.
Do.
This is like you do chalk talk with football, and we've had great clips in the past of Braylon Edwards breaking down routes. I want to try our hand here with Dr. Pierce.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Walk us through, Dr. Pierce, the Jordan Love thing. What are you seeing?
All right, so if we all right. So right there, I mean, you look like his ankle is crushing in. Everybody thought it was an ankle injury to begin with, including myself. But then when you take a look back, you see the torque where the foot is planted to the ground, and now the knee's the only thing giving way, right? So you're talking about the MCL. So that's a inside ligament on the inside of the knee. He puts a lot of stress, and as his body, you got momentum there. So the player's taking him one direction, his body's going another, which opens up that whole knee on the inside. So you're stretching what we call the medial collateral ligament, the MCL. We looked at the ankle. The ankle will give way, and it's going to break from the ground, but the knee is now right there. You see it's taking that torque. So he's taking that torque on the inside, and it's opening the inside of the knee up, which is going to pull that ligament, stretch it to its limit. Fortunately, he doesn't have a tear. I mean, we're talking about they're talking 4 weeks. So that's Where I talked last time about strains, that's in that grade 1 to 2 strain where he should be able to recover and become functional. Again, the secret sauce is, I think we're looking at, that 4 to 6 week. Does he come back braced? Does he come back with a little secret sauce before a game to be more functional? That'll tell out in about 2 weeks. But I think he's definitely down for 2 weeks. The good news is there was no tear for him. And again, his ankle took a lot of abuse too. So there's probably some ankle issues, but he popped up with opening that, like what we call gapping on the inside of the knee, the medial aspect of that knee.
I guess, Doc.
How'd I do compared to
that was perfect. All we needed, D-Mac, I think, was the little marker, the John Madden marker.
I'm happy to get the marker.
I thought it was here, but I realized it was here. Yeah, he's lucky it was here.
Well,
so
can we set that up next time, Spence?
Yeah, we can try something like that.
Give me a little iPad here. I'll play with it.
Doc, I'll cut the people off because they've asked you this in the past, and they're going to in about 8 seconds from now. The secret sauce, the legend of the secret sauce, Doc. It's not a universal thing. There are different sauces for different steaks, I guess you could say, right? Or different burgers.
Yeah, I mean, you go, years, sports, all that stuff. I'm kind of used as a whole big term, the secret sauce. But it consists of certain things, straight up things like, therapeutic stuff, ultrasounds, electrical stim, stimulators, laser treatments, creams that we put stuff into, all the way to biologics. Some of those things are banned and some of those things aren't banned. You have the best technology for a football team. They're the most expensive players out there. No dig on hockey, but they are the most expensive players next to soccer and maybe NASCAR. But the team, and they share it. It goes through either the front door or the back door, what needs to be done. Nobody's breaking any rules. It's just the common knowledge of science at the moment that we can do it to speed up recovery. It's all about recovery right now. The liquid recoveries, the IV recoveries, the cream recoveries, the medications. Again, the biologics are starting to play a big role. I think everybody's just trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Like, not to bring up Aaron Rodgers prematurely, but, he talks about his recovery. He did it a little bit, not traditional. He admits he had stem cell provided. They pull it from him. It was a third party, stuff like that. Those are the things these guys are allowed to do. And at Michigan Sports and Spine, we're doing that for everybody. Is it costly? Is it insurance approved? No, I mean, we're cutting edge. FDA lags what cutting edge medicine is, right? And FDA doesn't tell us how to start practicing. We lead with things that are outside the box. Before FDA necessarily approves it, we're doing it. Europe's doing it. Costa Rica, South America's doing it because they have less restrictions. We're seeing the results. So, these guys want to be, there's a lot at stake. What's his face just signed a $60 million contract. He's going to use every resource he can get to be healthy and fulfill that contract.
And D-Mac, that's on both sides. That's ownership. That's players. It's as somebody who lived it.
Everybody's
it's
all in.
business.
Right.
It's business, right?
Absolute business. And to Doc's point, you got to take care of your assets or whatever like this, put them in the best position
because
possible.
you are an asset, and you know that you're an asset.
Absolutely. So, like, Doc, from when you watch this, and this is more of a common occurrence that happens in a game and stuff like this. Now, is it something that, I know they said 4 weeks, could he come back earlier from it, or is this something that they have to do, the type of injury to prepare it so he doesn't do it again?
Again, I mean, it's what he does. I think at 2 weeks they're going to be able to tell better how he's recovering, because everybody's physiology is different. How they recover is different. How his nutritional status is. I think Love is very dedicated to playing and improving himself. I think he's going to be on the shorter end of that. And again, you can brace him. You can do things to help. You get the secret sauce. How many days? How diligent is he going to be in his recovery? There's with a strain, you can kind of get around it. You can cut down the inflammation. You can take things to cut the inflammation. Like I said, I think we'll know better at 2 weeks, whether it's going to be at that 4 to 6 week phase. I predict he's going to be right around that 3-4 weeks. I think he's out for the next 2. Third week, we could see him practicing and going at it.
We have a question in the chat, Dr. Pierce, before we move on to Jahmyr Gibbs. Mike G. I want to see a chat poll. Ben Gay or Icy Hot? Which one, Doc? Ben Gay or Icy Hot? Which one's better? Come on. Putting you to the test.
It depends what decade of life you're in.
All right. Well,
this must be an older gentleman because he's throwing Ben. People don't use that Ben Gay term. I know Ben Gay's trying to make a comeback, but with Shaq and Icy Hot, they're kicking butt.
Yeah. Icy Hot cut him off.
But you got to understand the difference of the two. They're two different mechanisms of how they work. Ben Gay is a lotion that smells wintergreen, all fresh, and it's more of a warming thing. Where Icy Hot is more, you ice it and then it heats up. So it's two different things. So
do it, D-Mac. Doc just gave the audience a breakdown, the medical breakdown on Ben Gay and I. You tell me you don't love this segment.
Things I didn't have on my bingo board this morning.
Ben Gay.
Was Ben Gay and Icy Hot breakdown. But thank you, Doc.
That was
you guys are hitting me from all angles. I gotta tell you.
Hey, football's back, man. No stone is unturned. Dr. Jeff Pierce here joining us, our injury insider. Doc, I have to give you credit. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yes.
I told you I was worried. You said, no, he's good.
I think
he looked good.
I think he looked 100%, no hesitation. That's what we look for. We talked about Aaron Rodgers and what to look for. He didn't have hesitation, entering that line, busting through that line. I didn't see any. I don't know. We really teased out his play tapes. Was there any? But I mean, what was his stats for Sunday night?
The exact. Now I can pull up. The exact.
He did
numbers.
well. I mean,
right. But the moral of the story was, Doc, the eye test, and as Spenny just said, explosive, dynamic was what it looked the exact same.
11 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. So
what was it again?
11 for 40 and a touchdown. 4 catches for 34 yards.
Yeah. So he's a utility guy like he normally. Normal stats for him. No, I think he did great. I think they did the right thing. I have more there's a lot of confidence. You got Dan Campbell wanting to push hard, but he has some common sense in that back office of what we need to do for our key players and things like that. I think they're real healthy right now, and I think that was our fortunate outcome last year. We were a healthy team. So hats off to that medical team for the Detroit Lions.
Real quick, so I can put that to bed then? You're not worried about, residuals?
No, there's always that risk. I think he's...
Give me the how. Give me the how.
He's one of those players that's very concerned about his body. I don't think he's shortcutting anything. I think Gibbs is committed. He knows he's fortunate to be at this level, and he doesn't take it for granted. This guy's working every day. You got that mental attitude with him already. They talk about that San Francisco 49er mental attitude. I think the Lions are capturing that too, and with some real good players that are grounded. Nobody's above anybody else on that team, which is great to see.
No, absolutely. Dr. Jeff Pierce, our injury insider, joining us, brought to you by the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. Okay, we'll finish the Triple Crown here.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers last night.
Are we talking about Michigan? Go ahead.
No. Aaron Rodgers last night, coming off the Achilles. I saw very limited mobility versus what he used to be. Now, I know it's one performance. I know it's one game. But to me, the eye test from what Aaron Rodgers was as he approaches 40 years of age, coming off an Achilles. Doc, the moral of my question is this. We always fall for this as fans. The aging quarterback that cuts bait from the team he had all the glory with, that goes to the new team as he's pushing 40, and we think it's just magically going to transfer over, let alone mixing in an Achilles into the mix. What I saw was nowhere near as mobile as he used to be. And look, Aaron Rodgers was never Steve Young or never Randall Cunningham, but he was deceptive. He had deceptive ability to scramble.
Correct.
I think he looks compromised. But I'm not Dr. Pierce. And I don't know. I know you weren't sitting there with Monday night. You're not sitting there with your notepad and your stethoscope and sitting there in your lab jacket and stuff like that. I'm just telling you the vibes I got.
I'm not going to disagree with you. He did not look healthy. I don't know if it's that factor of, like we said, the mental. I mean, we think Aaron Rodgers is the strongest mental player in the NFL. He does all that other stuff to expand his brain power. his eyes looked different last night. It didn't look like a confident eyes. I mean, if you look at his eyes, you look at his body habit, was it, I need to get hit, I need to get through a game to realize I'm not going to re-injure. You could see how ginger he was just in that pocket when he was pushing off. I don't think he planted either foot on any real throw. I mean, he had that touchdown up the middle on the broken play with the flag thrown. I mean, he flung that thing. He didn't step into it and throw it. I mean, he's got arm strength. I mean, Aaron Rodgers' season, he knows how to get through a game differently than a 20-year-old immature quarterback. I mean, he's going to live it. Is he physically 100%? Not what I saw last night. Is he mentally 100%? No, not what I saw last night. Will that come? Will that come with the hits and the plays? I mean, did he really get ready preseason? I don't think he did that either. I think the season's going to get him better. I mean, he played a strong team. I mean, San Francisco, they're on you in a second. I mean, this guy, he couldn't think as quick as he used to. But again, time of possession, geez, San Francisco killed him. What was it, like 2/3 San Francisco, 1/3 Green Bay? He didn't even have a chance to do much.
Well, and that's the difference because the Rams had the ball the whole time Sunday night too.
Yeah,
and they lost.
Second half.
Yep, and they lost. So there it was. Doc, we appreciate you coming through. As always, appreciate the breakdown. Football's here, so
I gotta be ready.
You got to be ready to go.
I be ready for the bang. I gotta read good housekeeping. Make sure I keep up my Bengay and icy hot items.
D-Mac, which one did you prefer back in the day? Were you more team Bengay or more icy hot?
Icy hot.
He was just
Flexall. It was Flexall.
Oh, I forgot about Flexall.
Flexall was a sponsor.
Flexall 454.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was that Canadian? Come out of Canada?
Maybe.
Flexall was the big.
Yeah, that was
the big
sponsor.
one. That's what we all use.
Nexwell or whatever else. But
while the boys
was more of an icy hot.
While the boys were in college and we had the beer league softball.
Remember,
going.
although Cheeky used to use Tiger Bomb. That Tiger Bomb.
Tiger Bomb's actually my number one.
Tiger Bomb's crazy.
Yeah, Cheeky turned me on to it, but he would put a ton on. Like that's why I tell people start with a little bit and add to it. You'd be on fire in 3 minutes.
On
Tiger
fire,
Bomb.
you smell it, walk in the room, smell it, or if like one of the Russians were on the table before you. Oh yeah, clean you out. Tiger Bomb's the dizzle.
Tiger Bomb is
super icy hot.
Yeah. Well, the Flexall 454 when me and the boys started playing the beer league softball, all the guys that were pitchers that never threw for 3 years and then started throwing bombs from the outfield all the time, and they would come in with their elbows burning. That was the official Flexall was the official elbow soother for all the guys. Real quick, Doc, before we let you go, John, that was an elite breakdown. So thanks, Doc. We appreciate you.
I appreciate that feedback. That'll keep me going.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, we do want to encourage people to ask what they want to hear and what they want to talk about and stuff like that.
No, absolutely. You guys want to know about something? Drop it in there, man. Docs, I'll give you this, Doc. You are very, very good on the spot. There are not a lot. No, it's for real. There are not a lot of people in this business even that do this for a living that are comfortable with. Well, what's the script? What do we talk about? You're good. You're good on your feet. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah, we stopped doing that script thing. You guys just fire at me no matter what. I love it. I love it. I'm not no rehearsal here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Mark White, though, they always rehearse in the real estate game.
Mark White always rehearses, and they always win. Make sure you go to Mark White. He'll save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. All you got to do is call Mark White at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, that's 248-290-8242. Mark White will make your dreams come true.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Neil Rule here for KDK Law. Listen up, everybody. You're dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law. They're the ones that will have your back. You're losing sleep thinking about it? We're talking about your children, talking about your marriage, family law, all of it, guys. This is serious stuff. They have 24/7 availability. They have over 10 years of experience. I don't know what else to tell you guys. They're right here in Birmingham as well. Scan the QR code on your screen. Call them 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and they will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back. All right, everybody, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Networks, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, Silent Mike in the building. His vibes are immaculate. Spencer Raxter here. Heavyweights coming up tonight, 5 to 7. What were you guys on yesterday?
Oh, we were all on Lions. That's all
And
we
Ludes?
talked about. Yep, Ludes and Lions.
It was an L&L Monday?
L&L Monday.
L&L for a dub Monday.
Can I take this time and go through a little bit of an update? What was the difference between the first game going and watching the live party as opposed to maybe the live parties last year, at least early on or whatever? Was there this, and I didn't watch it or whatever, but did you have more of a, calm that this was sort of just the way it was going to be? Or was there, you remember last year, there's early on as we learned how to watch this team, what they were all about, we had a lot of panic. There was a lot of, not saying jumping off the wagon, nervousness and stuff. How did because that first game is the epitome of probably how a lot of them are going this season, but was the vibe different?
The vibe was different. There was a lot of confidence. There was never really a doubt, even when the Lions got down in the fourth quarter. We were all like, all right, I mean, they're just going to go down the field and they're going to score. Like, we had total confidence in that. There wasn't a lot of freaking out over Dan Campbell decisions, except my dad.
Except for your dad.
Yeah, my dad's not a fan of going for it on fourth down.
I'm trying to work with him on that.
Yeah, he just would rather, if they're going to run it, because he knows they're going to run it and get it when it's 4th and 1, he would just rather them do that on 3rd and 1 and just not have to go to 4th down.
We all would.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I think for everybody, there was not a doubt that they were going to come down and win that game. The most nervous I was at in the entire game was during the coin toss of overtime. Because
biggest play of the game.
It's the biggest play of the game. And even then, if the Lions would have lost the coin toss, I'd still be pretty confident that they'd be able to get a stop on the Rams because that's how well the defense looked.
And you know what? When their ass was on the line,
they got a stop.
Moments before, they got the stop.
Twice. Stafford. I mean, I know he only had like 10 seconds when he got it last, but they got a big sack to end the game.
And D-Mac, that was a change to me. I was wholly confident the whole time. It was an oh shit moment.
Right, and look at the way it played out, because you also, too, had to drive for the tying field goal by a rookie kicker.
Yeah.
That whatever, but at
Never had a doubt.
But at no point it wasn't like we weren't going to execute. And to me, and I recognize sort of that vibe that we got more used to it as the season went on, but it's one thing to carry it over. Or did we revert back? And Spenny says that now, no, we're into a little bit more maturity to understand that this is the way it's going to be, but we have a team at the end of the day that's going to hit that last punch more than get punched.
You know what it is, D-Mac? And again, this is the reason I bring this up, because you're here and you've done it and you can speak to it that in a way that nobody else can. Is the vibes I got? I never doubted for a second that Goff would get it done. I never doubted for a second that the Lions would get it done. And you know who it reminded me of watching? Take a guess.
The Wings.
I knew you guys were going to win. There was a point where I knew you guys weren't going to win.
But then after when you proved it, right?
I knew you were going to win.
Sort of like we sort of Spenny and Goff.
Yeah,
you and the Wings.
100%. Like
once you knew.
It was like the Pistons back in the day with the Bad Boys, and I was a little kid. Even in a day they didn't have their fastball. When you guys would play at Phoenix and you were losing 3-1 in the third period, I knew you guys were going to win.
It wasn't always easy. Down 2-1 to the Colorado, losing 2 games, and 0-2 at home to Vancouver, having to do it the hard way. To me, that's the culture. But the calling card is that when the going gets tough, these guys dig in. That's what they're continue to prove. And I think it's just, it's huge, that game, to be able to get off to the way they did and not play a 60-minute full game, but to give us enough moving forward, because to me, that's all you could do to learn from the bad taste of last season. But also, too, Neil, talk about, you got to face the same team, and I don't care what it is. Sean McVay, even though you have some new guys, but having a fresh look at you and having success against you, you don't really want to have to go up against him 4 times in twice in 4 weeks or 4 games.
No doubt.
Right? So hats off to what the Lions did. Now they just got to continue to get ready and build on the next one.
No, absolutely. Atur, I see you in there. I just literally showed Neil he was full of shit about the passing TDs going down. 122 more in 2023. So, yeah, he's wrong. I'm sure more than that, and we have not seen him take it well. Yeah, that's funny, Atur, because in the article I was talking about that says, quote, passing touchdowns, the principal highlight of the new NFL, are down a good 10% from their zenith 5 years ago. Field goals, similarly, are up, given that only 6 of the 74 attempted were missed over the opening weekend. So you got me, Atur. There you go. Or they're down 10% since their height. One of those are true, Atur. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm not, Atur. So there you go. Good try. Try again. I speak in fact. See, that's the good thing about the way I do this job, Atur. I don't just say shit to say shit. I stand on what I say every single time. There's a reason I think it. I deal in fact. I'm not here to just entertain you and to spit out a take and then a week later change that take and go the other way because my memory's not great. I can't remember how I felt about something last week, and I don't have to go back and switch and remember, I said this about this last. No, it's just easier to tell you how I feel. That's why I'm here. That's why we're successful. That's why we dominate the flagship station in every single metric, because it's not bullshit, Atur. It's real. I'm real. D-Mac's real. I don't have to sit there and remember what I thought because I tell you what I think all the time. Boy. Yeah.
Stand on business.
That's why we crush them in every digital metric. Not beat them, crush them. I'm not up here doing performative theater. I'm not. Yeah, everything I say is real. So try again, Atur. Please try again. I do enjoy it. And no, you don't get under my skin because guess what I do at 1:04?
Go home.
I go in my car, I pick up my kid from school, and I go home and I'll coach my daughter's soccer team today. and then I'll watch the Tigers. And then we'll come in here tomorrow, and I'll listen to my sports financial podcast I'll listen to while I run on the treadmill so I can be nuanced and be authentic in what I talk about and have a grasp for what I'm saying that I know a lot of other people in this town won't do. And then we'll sit down and we'll do the show, and guess what? Viewership will go up again because it always goes up here because we have nuanced fans. We don't have some 71-year-old guy calling in, stuttering over his words, thinking that that's good entertainment.
Well, we'd love to hear from you.
I don't know who he's talking about, for the record. We don't do that here. It's a show. You guys interact. Now, granted, when we get people like you that have the takes you have, yeah, we all get to have a good laugh and moving on. And I'm never going to ban people or do anything like that. It's part of the show, man. So thank you, Atur. Thanks for trying and failing. But try again, man. I welcome it. I'll sit down here and talk to anyone. I don't have thin skin. I'm not the 2 to 4 show. Wait. Who said that?
You know where you don't got to try if you want to get a great deal in a car? Or play golf with celebrities like Darren McCarty and Braylon
Randy
Edwards?
Wise, not those other guys.
Not those other guys.
Absolutely. You want to play golf with me, Kirk Gibson, Braylon Edwards, or Calvin Johnson? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you can play like a VIP. Go to the woodwardsports.com or scan the code right above my head here today. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive.
And let me tell you about the watch party and the post-game show, bro. Both the New Holland Brewing Company watch party and post-game show. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have Tangerine Space Machine and the taller long drinks flowing. Presented by Sabbath Coffee and Siroki's Chicken. We're going to have our Siroki's First Downs next week where we're getting tenders. It's going to be awesome. And then, the New Holland Brewing Company post-game show. Make sure you tune in. Stick and Anson. They're a staple in the city. They've been doing it for years now. It's Woodward Sports. We're doing Lions coverage better than anybody in the state.
Facts.
Tap in with us on Sunday.
Facts.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's up, everybody? Still time to enroll your child in the best youth football league in Metro Detroit, the 3C Sports League, brought to you by the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan. You can register at bgcsm.org. 6 exciting teams to choose from. There's options all over the city, Belleville, East Detroit, etc. Again, go to bgcsm.org. Football or cheer. It's just $175 a child. You get transportation, food, and a chance to win a championship at Ford Field. That's right, putting the youth back in youth sports. It's the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. All right, final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Lems 31M, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, by the way, Silent Mike, Spencer Raxter as well. Lems 31M, can we get to a real issue here? And D-Mac, this is real. I've been keeping an eye on this. They're legit going to screw Scooble out of the Cy Young for a closer. And
they're not going to.
Spenny.
Who's the closer?
It's real.
Who's it play for?
Clase from the Guardians.
From the Guardians.
Who is, he is pretty incredible, but he does only pitch
to 3 guys.
Four innings a week.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Tariq Skubal is going to win the Triple Crown, and he's going to win the Cy Young. Clase is not winning.
He's got an 0.68 ERA and 0.66 WHIP. and 43 saves. Like, he don't get me wrong.
Oh, he's having a fantastic
He's an
year.
eraser.
Yes. You know who else had a fantastic year as a closer and didn't win the Triple Crown? Jose Valverde. Like, Tariq Skubal is the best pitcher in all of baseball. He is going to win the Triple Crown. He is going to win the Cy Young.
I hope you're right.
I am 100% right. There's no way.
D-Mac, I hope he's right.
Oh, wait and see. But again, is it not recency bias, but, because the Guardians are a playoff team, right?
Fair.
Like,
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Is that so you're going to miss out to people that don't watch Skubal, that haven't watched the Tigers. He's not going to get those votes. But the fact is, if the numbers are Triple Crown, how can you not give it to him?
Woodward Sports Chat thread, Chris S. To give the Cy Young to a closer is crazy talk. Well, the Tigers had that back in 1984. Willie Hernandez was a closer. He won the MVP of the league. So it's not without precedence. I'll just say it like that. But yeah, that's aggressive, Spenny. This show will have some meltdowns.
Yeah,
a lot of shows on this network will have some
there
meltdowns.
is not a chance. Not a chance.
That would be aggressive. Some breaking news too, and it involves one of our people here at Woodward Sports. I don't know if anybody caught this.
What?
Got the alert
Braylon
from
saved somebody else's life?
No, not this time. Former Michigan stars sue the NCAA Big Ten Network over $50 million in name, image, and likeness back pay. This comes from The Athletic. 4 former Michigan football players, including All-Americans Braylon Edwards, Denard Robinson, filed a class action antitrust lawsuit against the NCAA and Big Ten Network seeking more than $50 million in retroactive compensation for being wrongfully and lawfully prevented from profiting off their name, image, and likeness. A complaint was entered Tuesday in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan, where college athletes were denied nil money for decades and seeks to compensate former Michigan players that rectify that unlawful wrong. The 4 players, Edwards, Denard Robinson, defensive lineman Michael Martin, and linebacker Sean Crable, all played for the Wolverines prior 2016. The House versus NCAA antitrust lawsuit involved similar claims for retroactive nil compensation prior to the 2021 rule change, but only stretches back due to 2016 due to a statute of limitations. So, essentially they're saying that the NCAA and Big Ten Network continue to market and profit off named players through stuff like YouTube and social media clips, merchandise, and airing classic Michigan games from the past, therefore precludes from relying on the statute of limitations. In addition to 4 named athletes, the suit seeks class action status and relief for other U of M football players prior to 2016.
Get your money, Braylon. Do you know how much money Braylon Edwards and Denard Robinson would have made at Michigan if NIL was a thing back then?
100%.
It would have been insane.
Well, and you know what? The
shoelace merch, the Braylon Edwards, dude, that would have been nuts.
Here's the thing about it, D-Mac, where it gets kind of interesting is I get what they say, like the statute of limitations, but what does the Big Ten Network run clips of all the time, even
the Rose
now?
Bowl.
Of who?
Braylon Edwards.
Denard Robinson.
Yeah.
All of them.
You know how many kids are walking around today wearing Braylon Edwards Michigan jerseys?
Yeah, if there's a precedence of NIL to the past or whatever they use.
Get your bag.
Every time they use it, there's got to be something.
Get your bag, brother.
Right.
Denard would have made so much money too. Yeah. Mike G. Denard would have been rich. The shoelace merch, he could have had his own shoe line. He would have made so much money.
He could have trademarked the phrase September Heisman.
And shoelace.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
That was a shot. Dude would have been rich.
He would have been a 4-time September Heisman winner.
He literally could have made his own cleats and shoe line and made so much fucking money.
Yeah.
That would have been nuts. But
yeah. Skydog. Anyone that thinks Baez is the worst hitter in the MLB never heard of the name Eddie Brinkman. Look up OPSs. Look them up.
I don't understand how these losers are still defending Javi.
I don't know either.
Absolutely no sense.
All right, for D-Mac, for Silent Mike, for Spencer Raster, I'm Neil Roll. Thanks for tapping in, everybody. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.